Managing an Amazon business was super hard before I started doing these three things. Welcome to ALGO's YouTube channel. My name is Sofia and I'm one of the main coaches here at ALGO. I've been selling on Amazon for over 9 years. And when I started my Amazon business, to manage my store took a long time and it was very complicated, very hard. I barely had any time to do the actual most important tasks of my business that would have helped it actually scale because I was stuck doing menial managing tasks that had to be done in my Amazon store, like managing inventory, managing orders, and it took all of my time and mental space that I could have spent elsewhere. The first mistake I was making, and I see a lot of newbies make, is only calling a couple suppliers a month. If you only call a couple suppliers a month, by the time the year rolls around, you've only contacted a few dozen of them. And guess what? Not all suppliers will work for your Amazon business. Some suppliers won't work with you. Some suppliers will only sell you a couple $1,000s and maybe you cannot afford that kind of inventory. So not all suppliers will work. And a mistake I was making at the beginning was only contacting a few of them a month, which means by the end of the year, I have only contacted a couple dozen, which was a huge mistake. So the first thing that completely transformed my business was when I learned that I had to contact more and more suppliers. When it comes to suppliers, it's a numbers game. So what I started doing is implementing my 10 by 10 strategy. So this 10 by 10 strategy really changed my business. What I did and what I still do to contact suppliers is 10 days. During 10 days, I contact 10 suppliers each day. So when the 10 days are over, I have contacted 100 suppliers. When I first started doing this, I noticed a huge change in my business because before I was used to only contacting a couple dozen suppliers a year. And now in 10 days, I had done 10 times that. It was crazy. And by the end of the 10 days, those 100 suppliers, guess what? Only 20% worked for me. But it is a great practice that I keep on doing because when you contact 100 suppliers, you'll get 10, 20 suppliers that you actually would like to work with, that they work for your business needs, your budget and everything. So I do this practice more than a few times each and every single year. So what I recommend for you, if you're only contacting a couple suppliers a month, what really changed my business is doing my 10 by 10 strategy. And by the end of the 10 days, I have 100 suppliers. And of those, maybe 10 to 20% work for me. And I have a lot of product lists, which now I can start analyzing and finding products to sell on Amazon. Second mistake I was doing, analyzing products mostly manually and not automizing that process so that it would take me hours to analyze a list of products from a supplier. Okay, now that we've covered suppliers, let's say you have 10 different lists from 10 different suppliers and they have 1,000 products on each list. And now analyzing those lists would take you years, not months, years, because you have thousands upon thousands of possible products that you need to analyze one by one. So the thing that most changed and transformed my business from a newbie seller to an actual experienced seller was using a bulk analyzer to help me analyze thousands of products in minutes. So when I started using a bulk analyzer, I started using tactical arbitrage. With the years, we developed our own bulk analyzer, which is within the Profit Hunter hub of tools. And we have this bulk analyzer called the ASIN scanner. We did it to be more complete even than tactical arbitrage. But so this is the one that I recommend. But what really helped me with the bulk analyzers was that before it would take me hours upon hours to sit and analyze each product from a supplier one by one. I would get really tired, really desperate, wouldn't be finding products. I would analyze 80 products and only find one. And I still had a couple hundreds to go to analyze. So it would really be time consuming. I couldn't focus on anything. It would make me so desperate to do this process by myself. So the bulk analyzers, how they work is when you get your product list from a supplier, which is an Excel sheet, essentially, you input that product list into the bulk analyzer like Profit Hunter's ASIN scanner. And the ASIN scanner within minutes analyzes thousands of products and it lets you filter out those products that have profit margin. You can set whichever profit margin you want, and also as many sales as you want to set. So you can set those filters, and what it'll do is that when you have a giant product list, within minutes it will show you only those products that fit the filters that you set. So products that have a high profitability and also that are popular and are making sales. So that would help me. That really transform my business. That would change hours of work into just minutes. And I could do this iterating the process with so many dozens of product lists from suppliers. So I already had a lot of suppliers from doing my 10 by 10 strategy, but now I needed to filter out their product list within minutes to not take so much out of my time. So with a bulk analyzer like Profit Hunter's ASIN scanner, I really changed my business. It allowed me to find product opportunities within minutes, allow me to put my capital into worthy products fast, and allow me to iterate the process so I could keep finding more and more opportunities. Number 3 that really changed my business, and before I did this, Amazon used to be really hard. I used to do everything by myself. Order, fulfillment, managing my store, talking to suppliers, analyzing the products manually or with a bulk analyzing, making purchases from suppliers, talking to them, managing everything used to take a long time. If you're an Amazon seller, you know what I'm talking about. It used to take most of my time to manage my store. And that time is very valuable time that I wish I was spending into more important activities, like activities that really impacted the scale of my business. Like, for example, securing funding so that I could invest on more units, on more product opportunities, negotiating with suppliers to get better deals, to have exclusivities, visiting suppliers sometimes, doing activities that really impacted more the scale of my business and that nobody else could do but me. So before, I used to do everything by myself and I didn't have time to scale like doing these activities because it used to take so much time. But when I started doing this, I freed up my schedule. I freed up my time and I was able to finally dedicate it to what I really wanted to do. So this was and completely transformed my business. Hiring and educating virtual assistants to do parts of the job for me. So I trained my own virtual assistants to do menial tasks like making shipments on my Amazon website, my Amazon Seller Center site, managing the orders, managing my account health, answering to questions, answering to reviews from buyers, doing all of this stuff, even talking to suppliers, opening counseling suppliers, doing the process that we talked about, the 10 by 10 strategy I taught to my virtual assistants. I also taught them, once they have the product list, to use the bulk analyzer. They send me a report of the final products that they saw, that they analyzed through the bulk analyzer. Then they double check them, and the final product list that they think that are great opportunities, they send to me. And now from thousands of products, I have a product list of perhaps 5, 10, 20 products that they have sent me. They have double checked, and now I can do the final product analysis, the final check, and do the buying of the products, do the final decisions, the purchasing decisions of which products we are purchasing as a business and sending to our Amazon store. So really, they do most of the work for me, and in the end, I take the important decisions that nobody else can take for me, which are the purchasing decisions. That also freed up my time to spend more time creating relationships with suppliers, negotiating deals with suppliers, securing funding for my business, and it really cleared up my schedule. I trained them myself, which I could only have done if I had knew how to do all of these steps first. And that's what I recommend you to do. There's a bunch of websites where you can hire people. There's workana.com, Fiverr.com, freelancer.com, upwork.com. And I've also trained people that I know personally myself, people that are out of a job, need a job. I have a few nephews that I trained myself as sort of an internship. People love learning about this. So in a sense, you give back to them also by teaching them about this business, and they love it. I have created great teams, great communities with my virtual assistants. Some of them I work with personally. personally because they are people that I know personally, but some of them I work with exclusively virtually. I hire them virtually. I train them on how to do all of these steps that we previously talked about. You can give them partial user permissions to your Seller Center account. So they obviously cannot access all of your Seller Center account for safety reasons, but they have partial accesses and they can help you virtually from wherever they are in the world, and you train them yourself. So before I started doing these three things, my business used to take a long time. It was really hard to manage. I could be really discouraged when I didn't find products or didn't find suppliers that worked for me. And then after that, I just needed help, additional help doing menial tasks. But when I started doing all of these three things in combination, really freed up my time. It allowed me to see it as a true business and not just like an auto employment or another job that I took, because before I automated all of these steps, it used to look like sort of a job. Right? Yeah, you were just auto-employed. You employed yourself. But after I started doing all of these things, it started actually looking like a company that ran by itself with a couple of people, and I could spend time doing what I love most. So I recommend that you start doing these three things. And if you want to learn more like this for your Amazon business, I'm gonna leave a link below this video that you can click, and it's gonna be for my free workshop where I'm gonna teach you step by step how to do an Amazon business. So I'll see you on the next video, and thank you for watching.